Hi and welcome to Bakinglady tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how to make some Halloween cookies, and I've made some really spooky little mummies. They're really easy to make, really quick, really simple, and even the children can have a go at doing these. So get your baking aprons on and let's get some cooking going. First of all, you're going to need some basic equipment. I actually made my cookies using my recipe on www.bakinglady.webs.com, and you'll find the recipe for the gingerbread cookie that I've made. This is the dough, and now you need to roll it out and then use a cookie cutter of some description. This is the one that I used. And then they bake for about 15 minutes in an oven, about 160 on a fan assisted or 180 in an ordinary electric oven. That's centigrade, of course. And the equipment that you're going to be needing today is a rolling pin, a palette knife. You might or might not use this. I tend to use it for imprinting. You're going to need a small hold nozzle. This is probably about 1/4 of an inch wide. If you haven't got one of these, you can just make small balls. It's only for the eyes. It's not an issue. I've got a small paintbrush, a small knife, which you'll need to have. It's quite sharp at the end. I've got a edible ink pen, but if you've got some good quality children's felt tip pens, you can use a black one for that, because the ink that they use inside it, kids put it in their mouth, so it's safe. It's not an issue. And the last thing, equipment-wise, that you're going to need is a clean, brand new cloth. This is just a kitchen wiping down cloth. And then the ingredients that you're going to need, other than your ready-made gingerbread cookies, I've got a couple, is either some lemon curd or a little bit of sieved apricot jam. I actually prefer a bit of lemon curd because there's a tiny touch of orange zest in my cookies, and I think it brings out the flavour. So you need some lemon curd. Icing sugar, or in the States I know you guys call it powdered sugar, and a couple of other places in the world. You need a little bit of water, and then the last two things are some black and some white, either sugar paste or fondant, depending on what you call it. And that's all you're going to need. Nice and easy. Okay, the first thing that you're going to do is get your cookie, and you're going to use your small palette knife, and you're going to brush or smooth some lemon curd all the way over it. This just helps the fondant or sugar paste to stick to it. I love lemon curd. Good quality lemon curd is just the best. Sometimes I make it, but this one I've bought from the shops. So just a little tiny touch. Oops, there we go. Just spread that using your palette knife. If you've got a pastry brush, you could use that as well, but I actually prefer to put just a really nice thin amount on, just like that. Okay. I've got a little bit of lemon curd here, and I don't want that, so let's just get rid of that one. And then the next thing you're going to do is a little bit of powdered sugar. Just sprinkle. You don't need a huge amount. It's just to stop your sugar paste from sticking. And then you're going to use some of your white. Make sure it's nice and soft. This has been well softened. And then you're going to roll this out. You probably want to go quite thin, a couple of millimetres, but I'll show you. You'll be able to see your fingers through it. You don't want it a really thick, heavy layer on the top. There's nothing worse than more icing than biscuit. So once you've got that nice and thin, you can just about see your fingers through it, just like that. You're going to get your clean cloth, and then if you push it on the top and roll your rolling pin over it, just like that, make sure that it comes off of the table, because you certainly don't want to have to be struggling at this stage. And then what you need to do is, I don't know if you can see that, can you see the imprint of the pattern on the icing? If you haven't quite got enough imprint, just push it back on again, just like that. There, we've got lots of imprint now. Just make sure that it comes off easily. And then if you get your cookie cutter, press down and remove the excess. And then what you need to do is you need to start marking so it looks like you have the bandages. So I'm just going to go across. Use the back of your knife for this. You don't want to use the front sharp part, otherwise I can guarantee that it'll all fall apart. And you're just imprinting. Just like that. Make them quite random, but you try and keep them probably about 1/2 centimetre apart. This doesn't take very long. Just use the back of your knife as I said. And then once you've got all that done, a few more up here. It is really lovely and quick. I like simple things. There's nothing worse than spending 4 hours in the kitchen. Okay. And then what you need to do is, around the face, you're going to cut off the top of his head, and then you're going to cut out a section as well. And this is where his eyes are going to be. So take that out. And then the last thing that you need to do is you need to cut out just a few of the sections, just to make it look like he's coming apart, really. Just like that. Just random ones. I'm going to take a little piece of this one off as well. There. Once you've got some random ones taken off, just use your palette knife to pick him up and place him carefully on top of your cookie, and making sure that he fits lovely on top of the biscuit. There we go. How quick and easy was that? Making sure that he opens up, and then his face. Okie dokie. Right, the next thing you need to do is you need to cut out his little eyes. So his eyes are just 2 small balls, about the size of a small pea is the size that I would say that you're going to need. Okay. So the size of 2 small peas, that's all you need to do. And then you're going to put those on top of, whoops, the jam like that, or the lemon curd. You see that? And then just squash them down very gently with your fingers so that the balls actually touch. There you go, just like that. And then if you put on the last little piece that you cut off the top for his head, that goes back on the top like that. And then this is where your nozzle comes in. You need to cut out 3 small circles. If you haven't got a cutter of this size, it doesn't matter, just make 3 smaller balls. It really isn't an issue. I just prefer to have them all identical. There we go. And the last thing that you're going to do is get a little tiny bit of your water with your paintbrush. I'm going to have him looking down. So a dab of water and one at the bottom for his nose. So nose on first. And then, if you use your edible ink marker pen, you can get these online or you can get them from cake decorating shops. Or as I said, good quality children's pens from the Early Learning Centre are fantastic because kids put them in their mouths all the time. Right, the very last thing you need to do is just add on a length of unwound ribbon. So back to our fondant that we've got left, making sure that you have got some of the lovely pattern on it. Cut out just a small piece, remove the excess, and then finish it off by unravelling the end. just like that. Whoops. And then a little bit of water again. And I'm going to stick it onto here. So it looks like he's starting to come unwound. And there you have it. A really fun, whoops, he died. A really fun, spooky, really simple to make, quick and easy mummy. Have fun and happy Halloween. Thanks for watching.